Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be customizing my home stable for literally the first time ever. Don't know how long this feature has been out, but it's been a hot minute. Anyways, to add to my stress, I'm only going to be using Jorvik Shillings, so let's just see how this goes. I have actually been saving up some stuff to sell so that I can buy some features for my home stable. It's mostly just stuff from like doing daily trading quests for like archaeology and stuff like that. And I'm also selling a couple of stat horseshoes that I'll never use because I only use like one pair on all my horses. So I just figured they're almost 1,000 star coins each, so like why not sell them, you know what I mean? I'm honestly not really sure what to expect for this because I've browsed a little bit in the stable customization area, but like really never done anything. So I am very curious to figure out what I want for my home stable, and also just the fact that I am trying to only spend Jorvik Shillings will also make it interesting because I feel like a lot of the things are around 6,000 shillings, so I'm gonna have to make a lot of trips outside to sell more stuff. It's okay because hopefully in the end it'll look pretty. So I knew when I started that I really wanted to keep most like neutral tones, like I like browns and grays mostly, so I figured I'd stay with that, but it was really interesting to actually go through all the colors. I really like this dark brown that I tried out on the first one. Some of these other colors I really did actually like the green shades are really pretty, but ultimately I feel like for now I'm gonna stick with this dark brown color. I just feel like the accents are really nice with the original shade of brown that they have in the Moorland pack, so that's what I wanted to go with. So that is already 6,000 shillings. On the inside of the stalls, I did want to look at the different options, but I honestly wasn't that big of a fan of any of them, so I just stuck with what was originally the floor of the stalls because I just thought it was the best one. For the gates, I did try out a couple of them, but ultimately just stuck with the original because I liked the black and how it went with both shades of brown, so that was pretty easy. And for the ornaments, this really gave me a hard time because I wasn't really sure at this point what my color scheme was really gonna be, so I didn't know if I wanted silver or gold, but for now I did pick the silver ornaments. For up top of the beams, I already owned these ones, which was great, and I love the color. It matches perfectly with the other dark shade of brown that I picked earlier for the stalls. And for the upper walls, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, so I played around with some of the brick options, but I kind of felt like maybe I want a brick on the lower half instead, and then I went back up to some of the wood paneling for the upper walls just because I thought it would look better. I originally thought I was going to pick this dark brown, but then I saw this lighter like grayish white color, and I really thought that it might go well with the different shades of brown I have going on right now. I also really like the vertical planks too, and this was only 1 shilling, so like why not just go with it. For the windows, I wasn't sure if I wanted to go with white or match the dark brown again, so either way I was gonna have to get another 6,000 Jorvik shillings, so I have to go back out of my stable and sell some more stuff. But this was a really hard choice because I felt like both of them would look good in my stable. Honestly, this was probably the most annoying part of having to do this, was just go in and out and have to sell everything to get back to 6,000 shillings. So it was a little bit annoying, but that's okay. So once I got my shillings back up, I went back to figure out what I wanted to do with these windows because it was such a hard decision between doing white and doing the matching dark brown. I did quickly just browse over the Brickhaven set to see if I liked those windows, but I actually ended up liking the shape of the Moorland ones, so I went back and ultimately decided on the darker brown. I just thought it would contrast really well when I reapply the lighter colored upper walls. I just thought that that looked so good together. Then for the lower walls, this is where I thought maybe some brick would look really good, but then when I went through the brick, there wasn't actually a lot of options that allowed me to pay with shillings, so I was pretty limited in that, which kind of sucked. I did actually really like this gray option. Luckily, since it was one of the only ones I could pay for with Shillings, was just a little bit worrying because I did not know what trim I wanted because I knew I didn't want a brick trim. I thought it would look weird. So luckily there was these just plain wood trims that were really nice. But again, a lot of them weren't available for Shillings. So I realized I was going to either have to buy one of the star coins or just pick this plain gray one, which I actually did think went really well with the rest of the wall. And then I realized I was already out of Shillings again, so gonna have to go sell some more stuff. So once I got more Shillings again, I decided to go with the gray trim because even though the rest of the stalls and the ceiling are brown, I thought that the gray actually went really good with it. The floor I wasn't really sure what to do because I felt like a lot of the colors just weren't what I wanted to go with everything else. I did like the darker tiles, but I just wasn't sure that I wanted something that dark. And then this is the one I already had, which I did like. There's something a little bit off about the one that I had. And then I totally forgot to go back and figure out what I wanted for the actual ceiling. This gave me such a hard time because I wanted to match the ceiling with the dark brown. I just thought it looked really good, but when I was actually going to change it, I was like, okay, maybe this free one from Brookhaven would be good, but it wouldn't let me do that without changing the upper walls to brick, and I was so annoyed because I just wanted the white paneling from the Moreland set on the upper walls and the Brookhaven ceiling, but it just would not. I wasn't sure if I was doing it wrong or it just wouldn't allow you to do that, so I was so sad about that. Then I realized I really didn't want to give up this grayish colored paneling for the upper walls, so I just settled on having a Moreland set for the ceiling. I'm really still not sure if I want to maybe change the ceiling to the darker one. I would just have to get more Shillings to do that, but overall I still think it looks pretty good. I do actually think that it turned out pretty good, although there were some setbacks with doing the Shillings, but ultimately I think that it turned out pretty good and I am happy with it. I'm just not sure if I want to keep the original ceiling or if I'm going to save up more Shillings and change it to the darker one. I'm still also not 100% sure about flooring, but I think I'm going to keep it for now and try to work on it later. And then I did also just keep the shower because I honestly wasn't really sure what to do with it, and I again need more Shillings, so I might update it in the future. But overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I definitely needed a change from the original stable. Not that there's anything wrong with it at all, but I think I'm probably going to come back to the flooring, the shower, and also the ceiling to see if I want to change anything, but that'll definitely be after I get more Shillings. Anyways, that is going to be all for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. I don't know why it took me this long to customize my home stable because I am way happier with this. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!